Buongiorno.
Buongiorno from sunny, not so sunny Florida.
Not so sunny Florida. We cut the video yesterday because of a storm.
And there's another one coming.
It's coming in hot. So we are back, Mike and Kerri, and we're here to tell you about our Italian home purchase.
In the original, the immediate process leading up to our purchase.
During COVID, during the height of COVID.
During the height of COVID.
With no money, small budget.
Very small budget.
Small budget, but a big dream.
Yeah, and sometimes you think big dreams don't equal small budgets, but they do when they can.
Yeah. So you'll have to go back and watch the first video, and you might laugh at our video of us dancing. We have no dance skills.
Well, hers a lot more than mine.
Mike was trying to not drop his vino.
No, that was my first Italian glass of wine, and it was not going to be spilled.
But the song had some meaning because we had just gone through we were in the middle of some difficult family situations, and grace got us.
Yes.
So we had a lot to celebrate, and we felt very blessed that we made something positive out of something very negative.
Right.
Something that was meant to destroy us turned out for good.
And built us up.
So we decided to purchase our home in Italy. My original dream was, after watching Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, yeah. Was Greece, actually.
To run away to Greece.
Yeah.
And have Mike renovate basically a dilapidated Greece home up in a hill like a Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
Like an inn.
Yeah.
But we didn't end up in Greece.
No, we were across the pond, I guess, right across the pond over to Italy. But it was a blessing.
Sea, yeah.
Yeah, it was a blessing. It really was a blessing to have that dream and make it a reality. And this is going to explain how we were able to do that.
Yeah. So we found an attorney online on actually YouTube. That's where I found the attorney's office.
Yeah.
Watching YouTube channels. Yeah. Italian real estate attorneys. Found him, signed a contract to work with that law firm. Do we recommend an attorney?
100%. Especially if you don't speak Italian.
Because even with an attorney, things go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they go wrong for us?
They did.
They did.
They did. Even with an attorney.
Even with an attorney.
Even with
a notary,
an architect doing the initial home inspection. Well, it was we call it home inspection in the United States. Over there,
it's called a survey.
It's a survey done by a licensed contractor, and even with that sign off.
Yeah, we were told all systems were in working order.
Good working order.
Good working order.
Good working order.
And then we get there, and day one.
Yeah, day one was a massive water leak. We were so tired from our initial day, the jet lag. We were so excited to be in the house, but so tired. And unlike her, my head hits the pillow, and I'm out. She does not. She's up all night. And started to hear a funny little noise.
Yeah, literally day one, I said, Mike, I hear water. Mike's like, no, you don't.
No, I passed it. I think I internally was trying to pass it off, I guess. But it was, when we got there, it was really cold, and we had a couple space heaters going. And I literally turned and said, no, I think it's just a space heater.
And I made him get up and go look.
And then I heard what she heard. And then I followed the sound outside. And that's where I saw the one thing that I did not want to see. And that was a flood of water pouring through the stone wall and running down the cobblestone road.
Out of every crevice.
Oh my goodness.
Every crack.
As soon as you turn the water on, you can see the meter turning over. Clearly there's water usage going on. Nothing is on in the house. Water seeping through the wall here. Water seeping through the wall here. All through here. All through here. And all up here. As soon as you turn the water on, you can see the meter turning over. Clearly there's water usage going on. Nothing is on in the house. Water seeping through the wall here. Water seeping through the wall here. All through here. All through here. And all up here. Water draining down to the sewer. There is a major water leak somewhere in here, somewhere inside the wall. Meter still turning off the valve. Meter stops. Water leak inside wall.
We're about to get pounced on. Woo! Okay.
Florida.
Here comes.
Oh my goodness.
Thunder and lightning.
But
we're going to pivot our chairs.
I think we're good for right now.
No, we're going to sit the other way.
We're going to pivot.
So pause.
Well, I'm going to pause.
We're back.
We're back inside. It did get pretty nasty real quick.
We're inside now. So back to the story. Purchased the house. First night in the new village. Go to bed. We're exhausted. Jet lag. I hear a sound.
And it's water. Lots and lots of water.
So thank God my older daughter Kaylee was available, and I do a 911 call to her. She finds us an Airbnb.
But I was lucky enough to find the shutoff valve, which was the only way we got out of that without a really big headache. I was able to find there's about 3 or 4 different utility boxes built into the stone wall, and I was able to get into the water shut off, and was able to do the shut off and get that water stopped until we could get a professional.
So this was our first introduction to being in Italy 101.
Yeah.
When Mike's skills were tested.
To the limit. To the limit.
Yep. So from there, it was on. It was on.
It was on, like we say, like Donkey Kong. It was on like Donkey Kong.
We had to find a plumber.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Well, we were able to. So what ended up happening was we were able to isolate the one line that was leaking and still have water to the a secondary part of the house. So we were still able to stay in the house with utilizing one bathroom for one more day until
I was up in the shower on the second floor. Our home is 3 stories.
Yeah.
And I went up to take a shower until I heard,
"Stop, shut the water off."
And the water was pouring
through the floor from the
ceiling.
Yeah, so that was our second introduction into the water issues of an old home. And yes, we have video. We do. We have videos for all of this. It's and which will we're just trying to do an introduction, but you'll see actual all the footage. Fun stuff of the fun stuff. So yeah. But yes, the upstairs bathroom hadn't been used in probably quite some time, and the shower drain in the floor was clogged. And you'll find out another thing about Italian bathrooms. Some of them are just considered wet rooms, where you just shower in the middle of the bathroom, and there's a drain in the middle of the bathroom floor. And this one was,
everything gets wet.
And this one was clogged. So as my wife was taking a shower, the water, unbeknownst to her, was running underneath the door out onto the second floor, and then
spilling over,
began pouring through the wood floors, and then straight down into the first floor kitchen.
Yeah.
So that was the second stop with the water.
Yeah.
Mike's up there pouring Drano down the drain. We're gonna hope it doesn't leak through the ceiling or on my face.
Nothing?
Nothing yet.
Well, it would have done it immediately.
Was that just the water?
Yeah, that was a whole thing of water.
Oh.
But
All right, so why would it not drip, but it drips?
because what I'm thinking, it's not the drain, it's probably the seal around the bidet.
Freaking bidet.
So I'm gonna have to caulk around the bidet, because that was a good amount of water.
Yep. We had some electric issues.
That was day 2, was the electric issues.
Day 2.
As I said, it was cold, and we
It
were,
was freezing. It was February, and
Yeah.
the home is in the mountains
yeah, so we were running
with no heating source.
with no heating source. I mean, aside from the fireplace, but no heating source. So we were running multiple
space heaters.
space heaters, and we
Old
old space
ancient
heaters,
space heaters.
and we blew a fuse.
Can you just go flip the breaker?
Well, that's the funny part, because the realtor that showed us the house was so impressed with the new breaker panel on the inside of the house, and she was really excited that the electric was updated. But unfortunately, the issue with the electric did not trip the breaker on the inside of the house. It actually flipped the main breaker on the exterior of the house, which at that time I had no idea. So for that second day, we unfortunately had no electricity. And that's when the Airbnb came into effect.
Yep.
And this was, what day was this? Because this is the other part of the slow life in Italy.
This was day 2.
Yeah, but I think it was a Friday, wasn't it? Was it a Friday?
Yeah, and someone told us the electrician in the village,
The local electrician,
Natalini,
and
we found him.
we found him and we contacted him. He said, "Yeah, no problem. Monday."
We're like, no,
No, not Monday.
please, today, come.
So we had the Airbnb for 2 days.
Probably 2 nights.
Two nights.
Till Monday.
And then on Monday we realized that the main breaker on the outside of the house is actually what popped.
Yeah.
So
Then we head into IKEA for some sanity, for some normalcy, Americana.
yeah,
I mean, IKEA is IKEA.
yeah, IKEA, and I don't like IKEA.
Packed the car with all the things, new blankets, new pillows, new curtains.
Lamps.
Everything. Pack the car to the gills.
Yeah.
Pull back into the village. How wide is the street going to the house?
It's wide enough for your vehicle. Barely. Some
small
of the
vehicle.
small vehicles. Some of the vehicles do not fit down the original cobblestone road. Obviously, back then it wasn't made for cars. It was made for
Horse and
probably
buggy.
horse and buggy, or a little wagon or something like that. So certainly was not.
Okay, the little truck.
Yeah, it was not made for a vehicle. Unless you have a smart car or something really small, a Fiat, you can't get down these streets.
So we purchased a new couch. like Americans do. It's sticking out of the station wagon rental, pull into the village.
We were never more American than that day.
Pull into the village. We're at the piazza. I come out of Mike has to open the door, let me out. I take my big lamp, pillows, blankets, big blue IKEA bag.
Coffee table.
Put it down on the ground. I get out of the car and I'm going to back him down because he can't see.
The couch is taking up the entire back of the car, so I can't see it all back.
And he had to shut I
had to close the mirrors because they would have scraped the walls.
So he's got no vision except for me. So I'm backing him up until I hear, no. This woman comes out and she's very adamant. No.
Very animated. In a complete different language than...
Well, no is no, but...
Yeah.
But she's speaking and we have no idea. And I'm trying to yell to him. I don't know what she's saying. This went on probably for a minute. Seemed like 10 minutes. What she got to was this.
With the head back.
No. And I'm like, someone died? Someone died.
Someone died.
Okay, see? Mike, stop. Someone died. Stop. Get in the car.
Pull back up.
Honest to God, we see...
About 30 seconds after I pulled back out of the entrance to the road.
30, 35...
Villagers,
people in the village, residents, walking up the cobblestone street, and probably 6 or 8 men holding a casket, a wooden casket.
Walking up the hill, carrying a casket on their shoulders from the village church down below.
So these two American idiots almost backed into a funeral procession.
Yeah, that's what we do.
This was day 2 or 3.
Day 2 or 3, I don't remember.
Hey, here's the Americans.
Here we are.
That was bad.
Oh my goodness. So I guess we need to kind of get back to the purchasing process. Yeah. So
we'll come back to that.
Be right back. And we're back.
We're back. So we're gonna backtrack because we're all over the place. Yeah. It could be the wine. I don't drink. All right. So what led us to buy where we bought? We kind of covered that first video. We wanted home base.
Right. But also a price point. So we
were driven by budget.
Yeah. So you put a budget in, not necessarily an area that you're looking to buy, but if you have a certain budget, it's going to exclude you from a lot of places.
Right. So with our budget, we knew we didn't have much, but we knew it was doable, and we're here to tell you it was.
Right.
So budget was nothing.
Minimal. Very minimal.
But you have to account for other expenses. Once you find your home, you have to factor in the real estate agent fee, the notary fee. These are required. You don't necessarily need an attorney fee, but we highly recommend
it. Because
even with the attorney, things go wrong.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah, and again, you have to be really careful when you reach out to a realtor, because
they assume
very quickly that you are working with them, and some of them have an automatic fee. Literally, just if you reach out to them and inquire about one of their properties that they're showing, they may take that as an intent. They assume
you're obligated to pay a commission.
Yeah.
So it's different than. For Americans, we have MLS, multiple listing search. In Italy, you don't just go on an MLS. You have to actually go onto individual websites.
Yeah.
So
that was quite a bit of a roadblock, because there's so many different realtor sites that are not connected in any way. So here, like I said, it's MLS. You can look at any home for any realtor, but over there, the sites are very specific to that specific realtor and what they're showing. So you have to look at so many different
Properties.
property searches to find what you're looking for.
And the agent's fee can be negotiable. We had the attorney, so they were able to negotiate minimal.
Yeah,
I don't think she negotiated at all. We ended up paying 4,000 euros for the attorney, for the real estate agent on a $20,000 home.
Yeah.
And then the notary fee is 3,000.
Yeah, it was 33, I think.
And then the attorney at the time in 2021, we paid a one set price, and it was 5,000 euros. So those were the expenses, the other legal expenses.
Right.
The survey, basically a home inspection, was
300. I believe it was 300.
And we thought we were good.
And then the transfer fee, obviously, from US dollars to euros is another expense that you have to factor in. The exchange rate, you have to really factor in. And I think it's about the same now. I mean, it was a little bit higher when we did it in 2021. It's a little bit better, but it's right now in 25. It's still up there.
But one of the hard things when you're looking for a home, the photos you see,
they're terrible.
So if you find a home in Italy, there may be 10 photos on the listing, and 5 of them are of the bathroom, a wall.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Do you want to show us anything else?
Yeah, like over here, people hire, professional photographers and staging crews, and everything is, really nice, and it looks great in the photos. Over there, I mean, however the house looks is how they take that photo. So be prepared to, you got to be able to see, I guess, and this is more so Kerri's vision than mine. She is able to see past a lot what you see in the photos, and you have to really have that in the back of your mind, that there's going to be a lot of photos that they don't look really.
You have to see past, because a lot of the homes you're looking at are second homes to families that it's been in the family for generations. Someone passed away, it's outdated, and you have to be able to see past all of that.
Yeah. And because a lot of them, especially the older ones that are, like I said, the walls and the floors are so thick with stone or plaster and concrete, it builds up a little bit of moisture on the inside of the house. So you will see a lot of the photos where the plaster is peeling, or you can see some discoloration on the wall. Over there, it's just normal because of the condensation that builds up in the house, just because of the thickness.
So if you saw
of the walls.
a house that you love, but there's what looks like, would you not buy it?
No, I would not pass it up because of that. Because, like I said, we didn't know that at first, but once we got over there and realized that peeling plaster and discoloration on the wall, it's just kind of part of buying a really, really old home that's built out of stone and plaster and concrete.
So working with the attorney, they set up a search criteria. They were able to hone in on some homes in our price range. Mm-hmm. They would send us 10 to 15 in a search email. We'd look at them. Ultimately, the home I found it searching.
Yeah.
And I was drawn to this arched window.
The arched window, which I think you did see in the first video.
Yeah, there's a photo of Mike and I, when we bought it.
Yeah.
That arched window sold. I am all about character, architecture, and love the old world charm. And that arched window, I just had visions of sitting there, having my little cappuccino.
Yeah, it's an really amazing feature of the home.
It's beautiful.
Arches in Italy, again, especially with the older homes, arches are just something that they did so much of. And we actually uncovered one really beautiful brick arch leading to a room downstairs that was all covered up with plaster. that
Yeah.
we kind of found by chance, I should say.
The kitchen has the massive
Yeah,
arch.
yeah. I was actually drilling a hole to hang a hanger for a curtain rod, and as I drilled through, I saw the orange dust coming out. And when I saw that orange dust come out, I knew that there was brick behind all that plaster. And we chipped that away, and it uncovered a beautiful brick arch.
Yeah. So we found the house. The real estate agent reached out to the attorney reached out to the real estate agent, found out a little back history. The owner had recently passed away. Again, it was COVID.
Yeah.
People can't believe what we paid for the house. I think the house was listed at 25,000 euros.
Yeah.
And we ultimately offered 20.
And they took it immediately.
They took it immediately. We actually did write a letter to the homeowner, you know, whatever family member it was. And we basically gave a heartfelt, sincere, hey, who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking to make memories in your beautiful home with our children, our children's children.
And it actually was a home that was left to the children. So we wanted to kind of, you know,
let them know that.
Yeah, let them know that the house is going to be still used as a family home, a family vacation home, which is what they were using it for themselves in the past. So we were going to carry on their tradition, but just with our family.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have no idea how many other people had looked at the house, but we just felt it was important for us to share with the owners who we were and why we were offering to purchase their home.
Right.
It came fully furnished.
Fully furnished.
So you need to understand, it's either or.
Oh.
You're either going to purchase a home fully furnished, and when they say fully furnished, our home had the bar of soap still at the kitchen sink.
I think we found a bar of soap, a hairbrush, a toothbrush, pocketbooks, shoes.
Unfortunately, it was not cleaned out.
Yeah. So like Kerri just said, you can ask for the house to be completely empty, but if you do request some items to be left in the home, it's going to be all items. So it's either all or it's nothing. And then obviously we're coming over from the United States. We're not, you know, shipping over furniture. So.
But the attorney, when they went to do the survey, they said that the furniture in the house
was worth keeping.
Really good quality. It was worth keeping. So how do you pick and choose, you know, instead of buying new beds?
And some of it was, some of it was, but
it's just all the other stuff.
Yeah, there was.
You can tell by that first video when I walk in with the real estate agent. It was overwhelming. Yeah,
it was, because another part of, you know, buying a home in Italy, it's not like over here in the United States where, you know, you can get a dumpster or you have large trash bins that you can put stuff in that are taken weekly, or at least from where we bought. We bought in a smaller village, which, because it's unable to be traveled by vehicle, the bins are very small.
It actually took us almost 3 years
to
get rid of all the stuff. 3 years.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah,
but the alternative is you can purchase a home that has no light bulbs, no light fixtures, no nothing.
Yeah.
No kitchen cabinets.
I mean, we have seen photos of homes for sale in Italy that they take the sinks out. They take everything out. The toilets come out.
Which, you know, sometimes isn't bad because it's a clean slate. And then you can add your spin. But we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Ciao.
Ciao.
We're back.
We're back.
So we wanted to talk about another, even with the attorney, this is how things can go south.
Yeah, even with the attorney, even with the realtor,
Survey.
the survey, everything that's involved with buying a house, there can be things that are, I don't want to call them misrepresented, but there can be some things that aren't as they appear.
Miscommunication.
Miscommunications. Yeah.
We chalk it up to language barrier.
I don't know if it was that. I don't
On
know.
our survey that we paid for, there were photos of the house, there were videos, and there was a photo of the whole house, and then below the house,
Right directly below
a green arch door, an old antique door.
Yeah.
One would assume it was a cantina.
Yes, because it was even in the video. They stopped at it, pointed, and took some time to video this beautiful old cantina door.
So while we're moving in, not moving in, we don't live there, but moving our stuff in and trying to figure out what to do with stuff.
Yeah, because like I said, the house was just full of items that we just weren't going to use, and we had to find somewhere to
put it. There's no dumpster in our local.
But we do have a cantina right down below.
We'll put it in the cantina.
We'll put it in the cantina.
So Mike starts taking off kitchen cabinets because they're from 1960.
Yeah.
Not our style.
Right.
Nothing against them. So
the
cantina's locked.
The cantina's locked. We got a big ring of keys. So many keys, I don't know what to do with. We still have the keys, and I still don't know what all of them go to.
Yeah.
But there was no key for the cantina, and that should have been the first
should have been
bell that rang inside this brain. But no key to the cantina. So we pick up the phone, we text, we call, and we finally get a hold of the realtor and say, we do not have a key to get into the cantina.
Well, we also contacted the attorney.
Correct.
Who contacted the realtor.
And what should we do? And the answer to that was, get into the cantina as you can. Basically,
it was nobody's.
Correct.
Nobody owned it.
Correct.
But it's below our house.
Correct.
That we just bought.
So we were told that we could use it.
So off to Casa. Casa's a little kind of all-in-one store.
Ace Hardware, if you would call it. For here, we have an Ace Hardware. So off to there we go, and I buy an electric grinding wheel. I'm going to cut that lock off. We're going to get in there. I'm going to put a new lock on it, and that's going to be our key to emptying some of the stuff in the house that we don't.
So you're doing that.
So I cut that thing off. We get inside.
Like a Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday morning.
God awful sound.
Sparks flying from the lock being cut. It's quite loud. So I go up. I bring the first load of items down into the cantina. I go back up to get the second one, and that's when I heard an older Italian woman yelling.
We don't know what she said.
I have no idea what she's saying.
It didn't sound great.
But we looked out the window down to the cantina, and she is straddling inside the cantina and out on the cobblestone road, and she's doing this, and she was not happy.
Luckily,
Miss Josephina, who has become one of our very good friends over in Italy.
She's right behind us. Her neighbor, Maurizio, comes out, does not speak English.
But understands a little bit of English.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I grab Google Translate, and I'm trying to say, we're so sorry. The realtor told us it was ours. No. It was a mess. Long story short,
it was not ours.
Not our cantina.
It was Miss Josephina's cantina.
And this one just cut her lock.
So now I'm in Italy, and I think I'm going to be going to an Italian prison for breaking and entering.
And our kitchen cabinets had to come back out.
So all the work I did bringing stuff down, I now have to bring it all back up.
Up to the third floor for storage.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but she did not arrest. She did
No.
not press charges.
No, she did not. She was quite. She ended up being quite lovely. She's one of the, I guess, the elders of the, I would say, of the village. But she's fantastic as well. I mean, everybody has been.
Yeah,
So far.
So moral of the story: don't ever assume.
Yep.
Even if it's in your photo, even if your attorney tells you it's yours, if the agent says, go ahead, use it.
Yeah, and if you don't have a key for it, that's probably a reason why you don't have a key for it.
Don't use it.
Don't use it.
Despite it all, it's the greatest thing we've ever done.
And we can't wait to get back.
So, I know you want to hear more.
So, you will, but not this time. Next time.
What do they say? Chin chin?
Chin chin.
Salute.
Salud.
Ciao.